Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Finstock Biztalk, where I give you tips on any business you might consider starting. My name is Patrick.
And my name is Emma, and we have been doing a series of jobs and how to answer job questions and how to be the best candidate in an interview. We have made videos about the skills that the employer will look when doing a job interview. We have also seen how to prepare for a job interview. We have also seen some things you're not supposed to do when in a job interview, and I hope you guys have been watching this because they will be very helpful when you're going for a job interview. And today we have a very good topic and a very important topic. We are going to talk about questions to ask at the end of your next job interview. So these are the questions that you're supposed to ask when you have finished being done the interview, and they give you the opportunity to, and they tell you, ask, do you have a question for us? Then this is the opportunity. They have given you the opportunity to ask them a question. And one of the questions you can ask is, how will you measure the success of a person in this position? So when they ask you this question, when you ask that question, you want to know what are the expectations? What do they expect from you in this job? How much do they measure a person's performance? Because you see, in some places maybe they expect you to do very big things or maybe to work for long hours. So this is the time for you to know how much is expected for you from you,
so that you don't find yourself working way too much, or you find yourself you're not working,
you are underperforming.
You're underperforming. So that question is very important.
And then number two, the second question you're supposed to ask is, what are some of the challenges you expect the person or you expect me to face in this position? Because every company is different and there are different types of working conditions. Some companies, maybe you'll work under a lot of pressure, or maybe you work under a lot of, maybe the conditions are not conducive for a person, or maybe the environment is not good for you, or maybe you have to relate with other people who you're not used to. So this question, when you ask them, it will help you to be prepared to know which kind of a challenge are you going to face.
And if you can be able to handle that challenge. I'm thinking maybe you have an eye problem, and they tell you one of the challenges that we have here is that you have to work in a
place with bright light,
in a place that they have excessive bright light for you to work in. So rather than, let's say you didn't ask that question, and then you work there for a week, then you quit the job, so you look like you are a loser. But if you ask that question, you can maybe negotiate and come up with a solution.
And also you see, when you ask this question, this is where you are able to demonstrate your problem solving skills. If they tell you you'll be facing this and this challenge, you can actually come and tell them, in my company I used to do this and this, I handled such a scenario, or maybe I have these certain skills that I know I will be able to work under that condition that you have said. And then number three, another question you're supposed to ask is, can you describe a typical day or week in the job? With that, you will be able to know how much is expected from you. Some companies, maybe you work for 5 days. Others, you will work from Monday to Sunday. And some people are not comfortable working with Sunday. So if you ask how is a typical day, you will be able to get answers on how long will you work, or how much is expected in a day.
And we did another video, and we are talking about how you're not supposed to ask questions like, when do you go for vacations? And if you ask this question like, what is your typical day at work, they'll give you the exact picture, and I'm sure they'll put the days that you're not supposed to work.
And then and also on that point, that is when you can know if you work on an extra day, if you are going to be compensated, instead of going directly and asking, do you guys compensate people? And then number 4, you can ask, how long did the previous person hold into the position, and what has been the turnover in the role generally been like? So with that you are able to identify red flags, because you are going to know, why did the person quit, and what are those conditions that made that person not to stay. If you find a job that maybe people have been quitting after 2 weeks, you'll start to identify the problems that maybe the position, that is why the position is vacant.
And you can see what you can do different, or see if the job is not for you.
Maybe the job is not for you, because sometimes the job is not for you. Okay, number 5 question you can ask is, how would you describe the culture here? What type of people tend to thrive here and who don't? In this question, you will be able to identify what are the skills they need, what are the things, crucial things that you need to have so that you can survive in this job. So when you understand the culture, you get to understand what are the expectations, what do they do, what do they not do. And you see, when you ask about culture, you're going to understand a lot of things, because some people, maybe you're supposed to wear official and you are there, you didn't ask that question, and the next day you report to work, you wear casual, and then you find everyone is in suits. So when you identify the culture, maybe they don't even wear suits, and then it's just a normal job that people wear casually, and then you didn't ask that question. The next day you come with a suit, and maybe it's a trip, they are going for a trip, or maybe something in the fields, and then you're wearing a suit, and maybe they were supposed to carry cement. So you see, it doesn't really, you have to understand the culture.
Exactly. And talking about the culture, we can also talk about the religion. Maybe you can ask about the religion. Maybe the employer said, we only hire maybe Christians only, and maybe you are a Muslim. That's when you find that the job is not yours. Rather than you working there for maybe a week,
and then on Sunday you are a Christian, they are going to
and maybe it's supposed to be
Friday.
compulsory for you to participate in those activities, and you're a Muslim, so it's important to
understand the culture.
That
is very important. So these are some of the questions that you can ask in an interview, and it will help you to be broadened, to your mind to broaden on some areas that you need to work on, or areas that you need to really look at before you get into the job. And I hope you have learned a thing or two. If you have learned a thing or two, you can leave a comment in the comment section and tell us what question do you think you will ask in your next question, or will you ask all the questions, and what are some of the questions that maybe we have missed and we have not talked about, and you feel like someone should ask in a job interview. Please make sure to tell us in the comment section, and we will really appreciate.
We also offer some courses that can really help you in your job interviews, like communication skills, which are very affordable at Finstock University College. You can visit and enroll.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye, and make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, hit on the notification button so that every time we upload a new video,
you can be notified.
Bye.